Hey, what's up guys, Wheeler YouTube here, back with another video, and today I'm going to be talking about the Atlantean deck, or the Mermail deck, that I intend to use for the next while. I hope that it doesn't get hit too badly in the ban list. I would suspect that the likes of Genix Undine might get a hit, as well as Moon Glacier, the Elemental Lord. However, if they put him at 1, I feel it won't really do the job, since most people only run him at 1 anyway, and he is a searchable delinquent duo. And it's so easy to get 5 water monsters into your graveyard. And pretty much Atlanteans just want you to do that. That's pretty much how the deck is built. So for that reason, I think that Moon Glacier, the Elemental Lord, will be banned, as I stated in my first ban list video. So I'll have more videos coming in that series, but anyway, we're going to get into the deck profile. So I start off with 1 Moon Glacier, the Elemental Lord, as I've stated. 1 Abyss Lead. This guy's actually really easy to bring out. People don't realise, you can bring him out with Abyss Sphere, which I would recommend now to run at 3 copies. And you can also bring him out by ditching an Abyss Goond and an Abyss Lead for an Abyss Megalo, because the Goond allows you to special summon the lead from the graveyard. 2 copies of Abyss Megalo, and 1 copy of Abyss Goond. So those basically all combo together really, really well. Next of all, we have 3 copies of Mermail Abyss Linda. I've upped it to 3 because there's more targets in the deck, and since I also run 3 copies of Abyss Sphere. She's just ridiculous. You set her. She basically acts like the same as an Abyss Sphere. So if you draw either an Abyss Sphere and an Atlantean, or a Mermail Abyss Linda on her own with no Atlantean, then you can pretty much net a plus off her straight away. And if you draw Dragoons and either of these things, then it's just like even more so. 2 copies of Mermail Abyss Pike. This is another example. If you have an Abyss Sphere and a Dragoons in your hand, you can activate the Sphere, get a Link, Link gets destroyed, you get the Spike, you dish the Dragoons, you get an Undine to your hand, and whatever else you need. Could be a Megalo, could be a Moon Glacier, you could have 5 waters in grave at this point. But either way, Abyss Spike is awesome. Get stuff from your deck to your hand, exactly what you need. 1600 attack isn't too shabby either. For the Atlantean engine, I run 2 heavy infantry, 3 Dragoons, of course. This card is ridiculous. I actually think that this card might go to 2, because everyone runs it at 3, and it's so ridiculous to draw it in your opening hand with an Undine. You just net serious plusage. It's just so stupid. And 3 copies of Atlantean Marksman. Some people would only favour 2 copies, but I think 3 is good, because on occasion I like to normal summon it, Monster Reborn it, and do a whole lot of other things. So it's not too shabby. Next of all, we have the Genix Undine engine, which is pretty much the same in every deck, although some people like to run 3 of the Genix controllers. I prefer 2. And of course, your triple Undine. This is another card that could get hit, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video. It's just such a stupid card. You play it first turn, you pretty much get whatever you need to your hand, and you net +2, and you probably have an Abyss Sphere in your hand as well, or a Spiritual Water Art AoE, and then you just tribute the Undine if anything goes wrong. Since you don't really need it anymore, it's done its job, and then you look at your opponent's hand and pretty much screw them over for the next turn. Obviously, it's not as ideal as that because, your opponent has more than one option in their hand, but whatever. Finally, 3 Deep Sea Divas. I don't know why I didn't put these guys at the very beginning of the video, because Divas broke. It's so stupid. It's so good. You summon it, you pretty much get your first turn Catasters, your first turn, your Daigusto Phoenix when you're going for an OTK. Megalo plus Diva is OTK anyway, so we already know that. And finally, 1 copy of Mermail Abyss Teus. I probably should have actually put him way earlier in the video, but the order of the deck is all like screwy right now. But he's really good. You basically combine him with Atlantean Dragoons, and you search of Mermail Abyss Goond and Abyss Megalo. You have another water monster in your hand. Say you have a Lind or a Lead or something in your hand. You can ditch the Goond and the Lead, or the Goond and the Lind, special the Megalo, and then you have 2 level 7 monsters on the field. And you can just overlay straight away. So you get first turn Abyss Gaius plus an Abyss Lind face up on the field or something in defense position. And you also get an Abyss Sphere to your hand since you search with Megalo. So he's really good. He combos really well with Megalo. But on his own, as a standalone card, if you don't have the Dragoons in your hand, he's not actually that great. He's just a 2400 defensive wall, which on occasion I would bring out so that I wouldn't waste targets with my Abyss Sphere. I want the Megalo to stay in the deck most of the time. As for the spells and traps, I tech in 1 Abyss Scale of the Cetus. Why? Because it enables Megalo and other monsters to attack over things that they wouldn't ordinarily be able to attack over. Also, it stops annoying traps like Deep Prison. Unfortunately, it has to activate on the first trap that activates. Has to send itself to the graveyard. So that's the only annoying thing about the card, and that's probably the only reason why it's a common. If you could choose when to activate it, it would be ridiculous. It would just be an equipped version of like a Royal Decree or something, or a 7 Tilted Bandit. But 2 salvage, one Allure of Darkness, because on those rare occasions where you draw the Allure with an Undine, you just plus like crazy. It's +3 actually. Well, it's not +3 because you're actually, you're using up 2 cards. Nevertheless, it can lead to further pluses. The Trinity, Monster Reborn, Dark Hole, Heavy Storm. No really explanation required. As for the traps, 3 Abyss Spheres. Why 3? Because I have more targets now and the card is broke. You should really run 3 of it anyway. It's a really easy way to get Abyss Lead out of the deck. And, other than that, it's just a ridiculous card anyway. You combine it with any Atlantean during the end phase, and you get to add an Undine to your hand, or whatever, with a spike, and blow up a card. I mean, what more can you ask for? And the monster you add to your hand is probably going to be Undine, after which you're going to +2 again, some Megalo, yada yada yada, do all sorts of crazy shenanigans. Plus Megalo now has 4 targets in the deck, and I only have 2 Megalos in the deck, so you need 3 Abyss Spheres because you actually want to draw these guys. Finally, we have 2 Spiritual Water Art Arwees and 1 Trench of Tribute. Spiritual Water Art is ridiculous. When Undine has done his job, as I say, you activate Spiritual Water Art, get rid of him. Abyss Lead can tribute the face of attack position Mermails to take another card out of your opponent's hand. Moon Glacia can take 2 more, so I just like to kind of keep the control aspect of the deck in check and constantly be looking at my opponent's hand, taking cards out of their hand, and just making them uncomfortable pretty much. As for the extra deck, in no particular order, Levier the Sea Dragon, in case something goes horribly wrong in my, in side deck matches where they side in macro and things. 1 Mermail Abyss Gaius. I believe this guy is actually better than Big Eye, because you can bring him out more easily. He has more attack points, he's better against the meta because he can negate face-up effects of the likes of Zenmain's first turn, which is particularly annoying for this deck, because we just can't pop enough. That's just a fact. Speaking of Zenmain's, 1 Mermail Abyss Strike, my target for Bahamut Shark. Unfortunately, I don't have one right now, so I'm proxying Snowdust Giant. Oh yeah. What a boss. Daigosto Phoenix. Leviathan Dragon. Sorry, I'm just kind of stuck. And as for the synchros, we have the standards. Army Arm, Hyper Librarian, Catastor, Dularn, Gungnir, Black Rose, Scrap Dragon. I think that's actually only 14 cards, so I might find space for something else. I was thinking about putting a Gachi in, because there's so many times today where I just like, if only my Catastor had 2600 attack points, he'd be able to attack over that Light Pulsar Dragon. Or not that Light Pulsar Dragon, but something with 2500 attack points which I couldn't attack over. I can't really think of any examples. But, just the extra 400 attack points, not just for one, but for all of your monsters, is particularly useful. And I think that, Gachi isn't actually that bad a card. I wish he was water. Although I have heard of a rank 2 water XYZ monster that's coming out in a magazine that apparently has an effect that protects all your monsters or something. If anyone knows anything about it, please let me know. But, I heard that it's pretty ridiculous. But anyway guys, I'm going to leave the video there. So thank you so much for watching. Be sure to comment, rate and subscribe as always. I am the YouTuber and I am signing out. Peace guys.